Good day.
Good
Someone
day
sent
to you.
Someone sent me a button from Australia.
Yeah.
And it's a good day.
Good day.
But
Might.
they made them take the battery out to send it.
Oh.
So I got to get a battery because that's another button. Good day.
Way from down under.
Yeah, from down under. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hi, I'm here with Dr. Robert Morse again.
Hilde.
All the way from Florida. Punta Gorda, the man.
Yeah,
the man. Da man.
And you're from, well, now you're from multiple places.
I know. I'm from Norway, but I'm also down in Naples.
But since you've now become more awakened,
Yeah.
you now are from everywhere.
I know.
You're
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that was a long
I was
drive
holding
over.
on to the whole
It's a long drive over.
the cold orange juice. You know.
I found some good
This is
navels
elixir right here.
that are sweet. Sweet navels in almost May.
Oh my
my God.
So, the great Dr. Robert Morse, the most beautiful mentor in the world,
stop.
spreading the word on fruits,
We're all spreading the
healing,
word.
health,
Oh, yeah.
lymphatic system, detoxification, and there's a school coming up.
There is a
Just
school.
a couple of weeks.
There is a school. 2 weeks.
In a couple of weeks. Level 1.
Level 1.
So many beautiful souls.
And we you know, each year we add and we arrange so things flow good.
Yeah.
So this year is the outline is probably that thick.
Well,
right
every
now.
year has been amazing,
Oh,
folks. But it's been evolving. More and more people are coming. You know, it's a bigger and bigger class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to hold it at 150 or so.
Well, 150 was, I think, last year was the first at 150. I remember it being 70.
We had 170
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like we could have went well over 200. It was
I
like
know.
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, when you're in a teaching thing like that, I like to be more personable. You know, when you get too many people
Yeah.
out, it's tough.
But still,
still
you
fun,
know, Robert,
isn't it fun?
you radiate from that stage. It always feels
Yeah, it's
personal.
fun.
You know, he's just being too humble.
But you know, the reason we change every year is because new things come out constantly.
Yeah.
And in the medical profession, this is where you see the extreme ignorance.
Yeah.
And then when we come out with something, several years later, here they come.
Yeah.
Slowly
I know.
but surely, you know, they come along.
Yeah.
You know. And here's a good one. And this was, you know, I told you, we like a lot of research here because we back everything we say.
I love that.
Here you go.
I love
Here's
that.
the research behind it.
Yeah.
But some things there can't be research because
Yeah.
no one has went into
We
these.
are the research.
We are the research. That's the point.
That's the freaking-
We
we are the
research.
research.
Exactly. So you can only research so much in books because
Yeah.
why? They're written by people's other Exactly. And if no one's had the experience of the lymphatic system, where are you going to read about it?
And it's changing so fast. Look at the level we're taking it to. Those books that were
Thank
read,
you.
you know, they were read when
No kidding.
books, if you read books, you know, it's already old information.
It
It's
is.
always old
It is
information.
old information.
You can take it in and you can have, you know, fun
But look
with
at
it.
look
but,
at
yeah.
look at the latest though. The
Yeah.
latest
Yeah.
is that they found a new organ in the human body. Did you see that?
I heard you say.
The
Tell
new
them.
organ
Tell
in
them.
the human body, the lymph system. Well, they haven't tied it to the kidneys yet. They don't
Yeah.
know that yet.
Yeah.
But all the spaces,
Yeah.
all these cavities. Anatomy and physiology have been teaching the lymph system for years,
Mm-hmm.
not completely, but enough that there's lymph vessels everywhere. We have pictures everywhere, and yet this research comes out like they don't know that. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much stagnation
Yeah.
and unawareness that you've got to pull out of this whole concept of treatment of anything.
We have been studying death, you know, we have been studying masticating, you know, looking at people when they're dead. Not what makes them living, but what makes them
Exactly.
dead.
And that's
Now-
the thing. Remember they said that they can't see the lymph. The University of West Virginia
Yeah.
said we can't see the lymph system in cadavers. You have to be a
Exactly.
living specimen.
So why would it be interesting if you go to medical school, you cut on people, they're all dead. That's what they're looking at.
Yep.
Now, if you go to ancient practices, like I've been studying Tai Chi for a while right now,
absolutely. I love
and they say the Qi is in the kidneys. How interesting is
How
that?
interesting is that?
That is an ancient philosophy based on healing, on Qi, on life force.
Force. Now, scoot up an inch, and where are you?
Adrenals.
Hey!
Yeah.
Exactly. That life
Yeah.
force right there.
Yeah.
Neurotransmitter. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's that matrix there. It's
Yeah.
that focus. But when you understand, it's like I just did a protocol for a young lady, 34.
Wow.
34.
Yeah.
Already had a right breast mastectomy.
Yeah.
Now it's thyroid cancer, what they call cancer,
Yeah.
lung,
Yeah.
and back.
Yeah.
34 years old.
Yeah. Sadly, not that uncommon
Exactly.
anymore.
If you don't understand which system is down, causing these multiple sites to be burnt,
Yeah.
then you thought that cancer has a consciousness to it, and it hunts through your body for cells or something. You know, some insanity like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You must understand that you have a fluid that is head to toe, systemic fluid that is in those secret compartments that they call a new organ. Simply the spaces around cells, interstitial spaces. I mean, that's about as far as you can get.
Yeah.
I don't know where this new research is coming from, but it sounds like a little stupid to me, because we all know interstitial spaces pretty well. I mean, they're around, every cell has spaces around it, every cell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you get to it? Blood? How do you clean them? Lymph.
Yeah.
It's just that simple, you know.
I know.
You
People
guys
are
get it.
experiencing it. You'll experience
Look
it.
at all the people that get it out there.
This is science. We're experiencing it.
Exactly.
Science, to me, is doing, observing, and learning from it.
Exactly. When
And
you
comparing
Exactly.
notes.
Well, when you discover something new, you're not reading it from a book.
Yeah.
You're
know.
doing from research.
I know, and it takes
now,
time.
Now, let's just for a second, let's look at spirituality connected to this.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go back to, say, Christianity,
Yeah.
and there are three definitions of God.
Yeah.
Omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient.
Yeah.
So that means that everything has to be evolved out of one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So where do you get the best information that you can get? And it's not in a book, and you can even get future information.
Yeah.
The God source.
Yeah.
Consciousness.
Yeah.
That's where you get all your answers, and it's hard to describe to people, but the more awake you get, the more you see what really is, the more you see truth.
Yeah.
It isn't that you read about it in a book, because it is not in a book. It's a living, you are the living. Remember, I think Jesus said that you're the living truth yourself.
Yeah.
Buddha said this. I mean, basically, each and every one of you are the living truth. You want to find out whose God is?
Yeah.
Look in yourself.
And how do you connect with that?
How do
this
you
is why
connect with
this
that?
man is known also as the God man, because the way to connect with that spirit within you is to start detoxifying your physical body, to cleanse out all those obstruction. It's going to help you to tap in faster.
Well,
it's like a great gateway in.
It is. It is.
It's a great gateway. You just let go everything that's numbing you down. You start on the fruit, right from nature, high in electrolytes, high in electric field, magnetic energy, life force. That's really where it's at. It's not
That's
in the
health.
minerals and lipids. That's not really where it's at. It's all energy. And I think less is more, less is more. We're getting to the less is more, less is more.
Isn't that
More about
interesting?
energy, less about food.
You know what? And how interesting you bring that up, because we have a lot of people out there that don't think you can get big or you can get anything on fruit.
Yeah. Look at Ian.
Look at Ian.
Yeah.
Energy's more. He does vegetables too, but energy's more. Energy's more, and that's the point. Energy's everything. When if you took the physical body, right, and then you start taking it apart, your cells, right? You got. Let's just call it 100 trillion cells. Enough controversy, right? So you got 100 trillion cells. So now you got a bunch of cells sitting around. Here's blood sitting over there. Here's lymphatic fluids over here, and a bunch of cells. That's your body. Here's a little pile of chemistry ash. So your little pile of chemistry ash, a whole boatload of cells. You got some blood, and you got a whole bunch of lymph, because lymph is 4 times the size of blood. So you got quite a bit of lymph fluid
Think about
here.
that. Yeah.
So that's your body.
Yeah.
So, all right. So how do you get information if you don't know it? You touch where it comes from. We tear the body apart. We take it. All right. So let's take apart the blood. Let's take apart the lymph, and let's take apart the cells. Now we're down to electrons and protons. We're down to subatomic particles. Now we can take those apart even. But what happens when we took the atom and we ran the atom around and we popped it? What did we find? We found 2 things that all spiritual giants talk about: light and sound. The light of God and the sound of God. And that's what we heard and what we saw. And that's where life is. And when we look to that, we look to the light and the love, not the darkness. We're always happy. We're always giving love to others. We always look to the light, and in giving the light to others.
Being of service.
Exactly.
Being of service. Not being needy and not being
Takers,
pleasing anyone. You're not being a pleaser. You're being of service. And you know what? when you said that about not being big on fruit, I think that's another thing. See, we have this world that we've been looking to, from our eyes. People pumping weights, getting big, going to hospitals, taking medications, everything that we see as a whole, which is our normal. Now, are the human body supposed to be this big bulky thing? Yeah. So if we were living in the tropics, living off of ripe fruit, having this wonderful life, what would we use our body for? I say we'd climb a tree, get some coconuts, we'd run if there was a danger, so we'd be good runners, we'd be good swimmers,
sure.
All of that. What would we look like? We'd be a lean, strong, mean machine. We wouldn't be this slow, big, bold person, I don't think. So it's our whole conception of what healthy looks like. We also need to invite in. Because we're trying to fit ourselves healthy into a sick society. Like, I want to be healthy, but I want to look like this person, which is not really a healthy person.
Did you see the young man? Well, it's not up yet. Because we're having trouble with the video, or we'll have it up today, but it shows a complete colon removal. This young man had the surgeon take a picture of his colon and everything else, and I put it up for you guys to see.
Oh, great. That's where we're at.
I forgot where I was going.
Taking out organs. That's where
exactly.
We're at.
Well, that's where we're at, yeah.
We're taking
He tried for a little while with us, but when you were, this is ulcerative colitis, you see? Yeah. You're in the final stages where acids are just ripping apart the cells. And if you can't turn that off, then you're going to lose that tissue. Because basically that's what ulceration is the breaking down of tissue. But the acids do that, as we know.
And it takes time to get there.
It does take time to open up that kidney channel and drain and hydrate and get these acids interstitially.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where I was going with that story.
We'll come back to you.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah. But, it takes me to another place. You say people get to that stage. Now, when you turn yourself around, it's also going to take time to get from a stage like that of degeneration back to regeneration.
Absolutely.
And if you look at me personally, I wrote to Shannon and I said, I'm going to be a little late, blame the sulfur. Because I've been on fruits, almost only fruit for more than 10 years, 5 years, 10 raw. And, I've been going, my issue was, started with the gut, a lot of sulfur in me, and working on it slowly. Now, I do my 36-hour dry fast, which I do every week, and it's sulfur coming out. Sulfur, and it burns. After that long, it burns. Yeah. But my body is in the final state of cleansing and regeneration. Yes. So this is what the body can do if you're just diligent and patient and persistent and forget about the science of this, proof of this. You be the proof.
Use common sense.
You be the proof.
Common sense is awareness. Exactly. Common sense is awareness. Yeah. Okay, start with this.
Yeah.
Is your food more nutritious and more powerful in its natural raw state or in its cooked state?
Exactly.
That's a common sense question.
Should be a no-brainer.
If you answered in its cooked state, then I think you need to do some meditation and take a look at life electrically and everything else. Because, and when I was in Lisbon, we had these yearly symposiums, right? And so from there, all the top health people around the world would come to Lisbon and they would have So there was a lot of macrobiologists, the top ones in the world, and they all looked ash. They didn't look vibrant. And I was talking to one of the top ones. I was going, man, I don't know where you could even think that cooking makes things better. What it does, it helps their digestion of it, because it takes the complexity of vegetable matter and breaks it down, so it's easier to digest. So I got news. We're not vegetable eaters.
Yeah. Exactly. And I notice that?
The difference.
I can look at greens right now, and my digestion starts just from looking at it, and I walk away. It's a natural response.
Me too.
Yeah, you can feel it in your...
And when you get real awake to everything that moves, and you start chewing on the vegetables, we don't have grinding here like cows and horses. Herbivores generally have a grinding, but vegetables come with packed amino acids. Because look at most of the herbivores. Elephants go, I love you, but I can hurt you if I step on you.
They're huge.
And the horses, we raise horses, and if you get a big stallion, you got something you're a little cautious with.
And I think that's where we really strayed. It's when we went away from nature, trying to question it, because it's really obvious that we're frugivores or primates. I mean, that's really obvious.
It's
I mean, you can
obvious.
just study the top layer of understanding of
Thank
that,
you.
and you'll see it. But there's
Thank
so much
you.
resistance. Why? Because then
Why
we need to
is there
step
resistance?
out of the norm. We need to change. We don't like to change, and we don't like to take responsibility. It's
You know what gets me is all the animals in the on this planet,
yeah.
and the medical profession puts us more like hogs than primates. At the same time, we know in science that we're 97% the same, not identical, not similar.
Yeah.
We're 97% the same genetically.
Yeah.
That's
We're
only
in the same-
3%
we're in the
gives
same
us.
category. That's enough. Being in the same category.
Yeah, same category.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you got to choose one category, kind of. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just been a resistance for the fruit, and I think that's the negative forces because
yeah.
you see how it
Yeah.
changes you when you go on the fruit. You start opening up. You start your nervous system starts to
I know.
repair
Healing
itself.
starts.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so the negative side would want to keep you sick.
And not only that, but the sugar industry. Literally been running the world.
Yeah,
and
no
what
kidding.
happens to the sugar industry?
Yeah.
If people tell you can
Exactly.
eat fruit,
Yeah.
but what they
Exactly.
tell you is have some bread with a lot of sugar and grains and
Have some
complex
bread
carbs,
with sugar, which is
and
bread
that-
is already sugar.
Yeah, and then don't eat fruit if you're diabetic
I
too.
know, yeah.
Have bread instead. And they don't even get the difference in blood sugar from those two.
Well, the sad part about that is that the medical world should be surgery and ER.
Yeah.
And I remember
They're great at that. They're great
I spent
at
a
that.
lot of years in emergency rooms.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
They need a lot of help from the naturopathic
I guess you
community
saw
to
a lot of
understand some
miracles
things.
too. I mean, what they can do with surgery.
Cool stuff. I love
know.
good surgeons. There's
Yeah.
some bad surgeons out there, of
Yeah,
course,
but
but
there's
there's
some
good and
good.
bad in everybody,
Yeah,
so you
there
can't
is.
complain.
Yeah,
But
there is.
where would you go to have surgery? You want to go to the medical world.
Yeah.
But when you go to the health world, medical has nothing to do with health. And so when you hear health associated with the medical community, it is a wrong word because they only repair and treat.
Yeah.
So there's no rebuilding, there's no anything. The
And
body does that.
It makes sense. It's even called, it's a medical world.
It's a medical world,
They
yeah.
studied medicine. They studied synthetic allopathic
That's-
medicine.
so that's
if you
good.
want a medication, you found the
If you
right
need
guy.
a surgery,
if you want that,
exactly.
go see them. If you don't want chemicals,
Yeah.
if you want to know about diet, if you know about how, want to know how to heal, how to get the body to regenerate and restore,
But if
why would you go to someone that's going to give you?
Well, if you push
chemicals?
it too far,
Yeah.
and you allow this acidosis in your body to chew you up,
Yeah.
and you need to have the gallbladder removed because it's soup, basically.
Yeah.
You got to have
Yeah.
a good surgery.
Yeah.
But we have saved so many people from surgeries. I have to laugh because gallbladders, bringing up that subject,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many gallbladders we've saved.
You were just saying one in one video.
Huh?
You
Remember
were
that?
just saying that.
Exactly.
That
Remember-
was Marcy's client, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
wheeled into the
Yeah,
door. She
yeah,
was wheeled.
yeah.
She was going into the OR.
Yeah.
She was half into the OR.
Yeah.
She goes, nope.
Yeah.
And we saved her gallbladder.
Yeah.
And she was right there to have whoop it right out.
Yeah.
And we saved that baby. That's the power of proper thinking, the power of truth.
Yeah.
And you have to get with that. You're on a planet that doesn't have a lot of truth on it right now.
Yeah.
And we need to
Yeah.
bring that in and
Well, luckily you're educating a lot of good
I
healers
hope so.
out there. Oh
I
yeah,
hope so.
every year.
Look
more
at
and more.
this.
Yeah.
This affects a parathyroid on renal function. All right, Marcy's digging into this. So we talk a lot about, matter of fact, I think our group is the only group that when you have prolapsing or you have connective tissue weakness, parathyroid.
Yeah.
I mean, our group is so smart.
Getting that.
And this is tying the parathyroid to your kidney function. How interesting. So we know that, of course, it deals with calcium, parathyroid, but also phosphorus, the little acid brother. You need phosphorus to bind bone matrix.
This
Remember,
is
acids
interesting.
bind. So interesting.
Interesting. I know it's interesting too. What about all the people that come to us, all the clients? Thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals.
Absolutely.
Thyroid, adrenals. Thyroid, adrenals.
Always.
Those two.
Always.
It makes sense they're
Yeah.
connected.
Then
And
everything
you
is
take
connected.
those two together, like the thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal, kidney, you put those two together, and they're both out of whack. You're almost dead. You feel almost dead. You got the adrenals,
Yep.
you got the
Yep.
anxiety,
Yep.
you got the
Yep.
thyroid, you got depression.
Yep.
If you're anxious and you're depressed, your life is heck. Now, on top of that, you get the heart rate thing, you get the
Everything.
stuff. You get everything from two glands with two
Just
little
two
extra glands. So three glands
Well,
and
what
an
else
organ.
do you get? Okay, so you're talking about the people that have anemia. All right, so let's say the anemia is from iron deficiency or something.
Yeah.
All right, so we use the word iron deficiency.
Just because
So they
that's what
take
we
a lot
see
of
in the
iron.
blood. Yeah.
Where is iron metabolized? The same place where zinc is metabolized, the same place where selenium is metabolized, manganese, adrenal glands.
Yeah.
How about
That's so
blood sugar
interesting.
metabolized? Adrenal glands. The metabolism of chemistry.
I noticed that when I started this journey. I used to have fluctuated blood sugar from eating fruit, just because my adrenals were so low.
But you fixed them, and you're fixing them, and that's the thing. When you fix the tissues, when you make the cells healthy, and you get the proper chemistry for the fluids.
We blame the fruits. Same thing I have with the oranges. I couldn't even have one orange in a green drink for years, blaming the orange. It's too acidic for the stomach, too acidic. Now, I thrive on orange juice. Pretty much everything I drink is orange juice. And my tummy loves it, loves the citruses. That's how strong the tissue has gotten.
Incredible. I had the best.
Everything. And I'm even talking, well, they're from Whole Foods and they're organic, but they're definitely not picked all right. And still, the body can handle it.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
These navels that I'm getting, well, I was getting from Sunkissed, believe it or not, and Sunkissed, and they pull them late navels, late sweet.
Oh, they call them that?
They
because
call
they've
them
been hanging
Sunkissed, late sweet navels, and they're that big. I'm going, yeah. Now Walmart's got really sweet navels that are a lot littler, but I don't know where they're from yet. So I got to look at the bag and see where they're from.
Yeah. And people, oranges and people, there was something about oranges, spirit, the sun, and about energy. Everyone that gets to a certain level, they get on the oranges, you just can't get them off.
Can't get them off.
I was
craving them, a dying. Now you guys are experiencing what I'm experiencing. But orange, think of orange. Orange is the causal world. The causal world is the lowest part of the mind, but that is where you start taking form. That's where forms really begin, because causal deals with past and future, right? So form, that's true duality. When you're awakening, and you realize that it's just your attention that's trapped, and you start pulling back, and you'll pull back from the causal world, you'll be now into cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness, they call it. There's no form anymore. You're formless. And you start recognizing the oneness of all things. You start moving toward the Godhead much closer. The causal world is where the Akashic records are, your past life records, all the things that you want to know, want to see in the creation. That's the world you go. It's orange in color. It's solar plexus in color, and it's mathematics. There was a lady, she was in her 80s, and this goes way back in the 70s, and she had spirit guides, right? And they came to her one night and they said, listen, we want you to start thinking and bathing yourself in the color orange.
Wow.
And this is an 85-year-old lady. And I read her book back then. And so when her book came out, I'm going, no, that's a 30-year-old lady.
Really?
Yeah, really, that powerful.
And
I was into color
That's where we're going. That's where we're going with this.
That's where we're going with it.
Okay, so I'm having another experience. I'm in the cold weather also, now and then, which can be used for great healing. Now, I don't know if you've heard about the Iceman, but there is a man in Poland which sits in ice water naked for 2 hours.
Jesus Christ. 2 hours?
And his body temperature doesn't even drop. He controls his body temperature. He controls his...
David Blaine couldn't even do that.
Yeah, he does it. Now science has got a hold of him because they're studying him in Poland. He trained 17 others. They tested them too, just to see that it wasn't him. That was kind of a freaky, special person. He's training them through cold and breath.
Look at that.
Breath.
Look at that.
He talks about alkalization. He talks about the same things, about purification through alkalization, but he uses the oxygen from the breathing to kind of push the acids out. And he uses the cold, of course, for detoxification.
Oh my God.
They put a lot of viruses in him that he agreed to. He pushed them right out.
See?
Yeah. His body temperature and his heart rate he can control.
So listen to what you just said. They put viruses in.
That's where we're getting.
Now, how do you get viruses out?
Yeah.
So if you got Hep C, you got HIV, don't freak out. Detox it out.
We're talking
I
the
like
same
that. Don't
language.
freak out. Detox it out.
Yeah, don't freak out. Detox
This
it out.
is how you get
Dr.
HIV.
Robert Morse said it
Exactly.
first. Fair.
Yeah. So, HIV,
Yeah.
get it out.
Yeah.
Hep C, B,
Yeah.
all these viral
Yeah.
loads, get them out.
People are screaming for that.
But these are
these
proteins.
things.
They only
I know
come
that you're
out
working
that
on it.
can't
Yeah.
kill them. What's interesting
Yeah.
to me is even in herbology,
Yeah.
I would love to change the whole consciousness of herbology because diseases don't exist. That's fallacy.
Of course.
So.
It's
what
just a
are
set of
herbs for?
symptoms that got a name. I mean, you know.
I mean, if you really looked at that, all it is symptomologies with a
Yeah.
doctor's name on it. It says,
with a name on it to match up to your
Barrett's
medication.
syndrome or whatever.
To have to
Exactly.
there are a lot of medications out there, and you cannot get them prescribed if you don't have a diagnosis. So you
gotta have
need a diagnosis.
and it's got to be a
It doesn't
disease.
mean that you're sicker than when you came in. It just means that you need to have a label.
Well, in
Yeah.
the early 1900s, remember, Marcy found a medical bag that had single herbs all in it,
Oh,
and a
isn't that
book how to
beautiful?
mix which herbs for what.
Yeah.
Enter Rockefeller about 1909 or so, and
Yeah.
you begin to see the advent of more petroleum and petroleum products,
Yeah.
and you see the pharmaceutical industry coming.
yeah.
And of course, he was into oil, and you saw
Yeah.
his bright light came on
Yeah.
as oil and pharmaceuticals. This
Yeah.
is why half the pharmaceutical more
Yeah.
is coal tar products. You know,
I know.
is petroleum products. That's why they get such a heavy.
They traveled from town to town, I heard, and kind of knocked
Oh.
down everyone and put
It
out
is-
the
I-
drugstore. They put a drugstore in
Yep,
every town
yep. I mean,
and
they
chasing
really-
everybody else out of town.
When you're the wealthiest people on the planet, you can
Yeah.
do things like that.
Yeah, well, we can too, and we don't even have to be wealthy at all.
No.
And you don't have to be
We
wealthy.
are wealthy.
Yes.
We have
yes.
a creator
yes.
behind us.
Yes, exactly.
Parathyroid
Real
hormone has
wealth.
been
True wealth
recognized
is
as an
health.
important factor in the regulation of renal function since
Yeah.
the 1920s.
Yeah. That's a good year, actually.
Parathyroid hormone has been recognized as an important factor in the regulation of renal function since the 1920s.
Yeah.
Basically dealing in the calcium phosphorus balance,
Yeah.
but also in the
Acid base balance.
and amino,
And amino
acid,
acid
excretion.
excretion.
Because if you retain a nitrogen element, you're going to end up
Amino
with acid.
acid excretion. Now that is interesting.
Yeah.
How we're all, screaming for the protein, screaming for the protein.
Exactly.
Most people don't even know what protein is. They don't even know the
Exactly.
difference between an
Amino acids and
animal
proteins.
protein or like a finished protein made by a living being and the amino acids, the building blocks. Most people don't even know the difference. And once they get the difference, they're looking for the essential amino acid. They're starting looking into everything they eat. Oh, I got to get this amino acid, and then you get lost into that
Yeah,
again.
That was the biggest farce I thought ever was. You have
yeah.
to have complete amino acids.
Yeah.
So here you are,
Yeah.
especially as a vegetarian. So
Yeah.
now you've got beans over here and this over here and this
Yeah.
over here and this over here, and I'm thinking, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I see a primate pick and eat, and they
Yeah.
can rip you apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that
And that's the sort of thing
mind.
you have
Get
to-
out of your minds. And this is what we teach is please get out of your mind. Stop thinking. When you stop thinking, your awareness will soar.
Yeah.
And you will see where your fallacies are.
And start
Because
doing.
you can't see when you're thinking, you're too busy thinking.
Yeah.
So when you stop thinking, it's like, oh, look, I can see now.
I know.
That's
And you
just
got to
like it
start
is.
doing it instead. Just start doing it. You don't have to do all the research. You just have to start.
Exactly.
Just from starting, simple. Just changing your breakfast. Having fruit for breakfast every day. It's going to
break
change
your
your
fast.
chemistry.
Learn how
Yeah.
it works. You
Yeah.
break fast with fruits.
Yeah.
You start a fast with fruit. If you're going to go on a long water fast,
Yeah.
you don't want to have dead animal meat in you. You don't
No,
have beans
you don't
in
ever
you.
wanna have-
You don't
yeah.
want to have all
Yeah.
that because beans
Yeah.
high sulfur.
Yeah, I
you don't want
know.
any of that in.
Yeah.
You want the only thing you want in your bowels is fruits.
Yeah.
You want fruit matter in your GI tract.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
Yeah.
That way you won't get so bound up and headaches and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you want to go before you go on a water fast. You want to do 2, 3, 4 days of fruit
yeah.
fast and then
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the water
Oh,
fast.
yeah.
Some don't realize that, I don't
Yeah,
think.
I
You
know.
break it the same way. If you went on extended water fast for, let's say, a couple of months,
Yeah.
you want to break it.
Well, you wouldn't want to do 2 months of water fast, but yeah, an extended.
That's true, but some
Yeah.
people do.
I know some people are breatharians.
You got it's it. See, you got people that are
There are
way
people that are
out
not
there.
eating.
There is a couple of
Yeah,
younger
yeah.
people that don't
Yeah.
eat, but you know what? You're also hooked to the life force more
I know,
consciously.
but it's getting up. I see less is more, and I see a lot of people now actually moving to a much shorter eating window.
Yeah.
Our digestion is overly bombarded. That's been the trouble, And
100%
once
agree.
we are digesting, you can't digest and cleanse at the same time. The way I see it, you can't
Yeah.
You know, the body starts really healing when it's
energetically speaking.
Yeah, energetically speaking.
It's hard to spend energy. That's like when you wake up in the morning, we have what we call time management.
Yeah.
So at 10 I have to be here, at 12 I have to be there, and I've got an appointment here, appointment there.
Yeah.
Your body does the same thing, but with energy management.
Yeah.
You have to have energy management because you have to be able to breathe, right? You have to be able to have some degree of activity. So things are prioritized in the human body.
Yeah.
And if you don't have enough energy to walk, you're going to be fatigued and tired because you have to breathe.
Yeah.
So everything is prioritized.
Exactly. And if you're packing yourself full of food, your body's going to use maybe 80% of its energy to digest all that crap that's being down. That's not even fruit.
That's it.
And when is it ever going to get to everything else? You know, if you need regeneration.
Well, think about this too. The more obstructions you have, the more energy your body needs to get it to function.
Yeah.
So when you remove these obstructions and you're doing it through an energetic astringent, which is their food, your fruit, you remove these obstructions, you don't get tired. You don't, I told you, I've had some people that they just don't sleep, they don't get tired, they run, they stop because they're bored. It's almost like our little Danielle or whatever, she just ongoing.
And the same I notice if you drive fast, you don't sleep much. You don't get more tired, you just don't sleep that much.
Don't sleep that much.
The body doesn't need to use that energy for digestion anymore, you know?
Exactly.
But we freak out about that. We freak about everything that we've learned, that we put everything in the system. Oh my God, I won't sleep in that much. Oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God. We're in the mind. We're not letting the body heal.
That's it.
We're not letting it do its thing. We get so nervous. We have all this fear. Where does this fear come from? We're not, it seems like we have more fear of change than we have of pain, because a lot of people are suffering and they're still afraid to step up and change.
Isn't that funny that we have a fear of change, and yet it's the very essence of all life. Nothing is static in creation that I know of. Nothing stays the same. Even NASA uses fractional seconds to look at things, you know, and it's like,
it's a constant movement.
It is. If you ever have gardens, you know, it's constant. Weeds, everything. You can't keep life down. Earth is expanding. You put a sidewalk on top of the ground, and a year later, the ground is right up to the top of the sidewalk. You begin to see the growth of things.
You can just put a camera out in the wild and leave it there and come back and look at it and see the change that happens constantly.
Fun stuff. And that reminds me, are you all having fun? Because you need to have fun. And when you get to realizing you're the living truth, you got to have fun yourself. And then everyone around you can have fun. You know, those around you, all of us need to tap to the fact that you are the living truth. You're here alone. Spend some time alone with yourself. But lock yourself in your bedroom, in a closet or whatever, but begin to appreciate who you are, and that the fact that you have awareness and that your gifts are just now starting. You tackle this, and your gifts are just now starting.
And this is a gift. The opportunity to be able to do this is really a gift. And to being alone, a lot of people come forth and they say, it's so hard, Hilde, because nobody else is doing this, or my family this, you know. And it is hard. It is hard. But what I think is we should honor that struggle, because that struggle holds the doorway to healing. If you have resistance of being alone, you need to be alone. If you are afraid of being alone, you need to be alone. If you think that it's going to be much harder to get your true healing just because you're doing it on your own, I think it's actually almost the quite opposite. You're given a gift of truly doing it by yourself, because you're always doing it by yourself. If you need someone else to walk with you, then you're not going to be able to, not until you let that go are you able to do it by yourself. And it doesn't mean that you're ever really by yourself, because there are so many people that can, be of support of you. But you have to find within yourself that power that lets you do it no matter who else is doing it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, one has to realize that in your own beingness, you're the only one that exists. All the things that are happening to you, all the things that you're watching, you would not understand it if you hadn't had the experience of it. You come forth out of the Godhead, and you have to realize that. And if there's 2 of you, you're still alone. If there's 10 of you, if let's say you have a husband or a wife and you have a bunch of kids, you're still alone. You will always be alone. And in the spiritual worlds, there's a famous saying, that alone exists. And that there's only one God. There's no mama God, daddy God, baby gods. It alone exists. but it is all things. Very difficult to understand that through the mind, because the mind works in fractions, in segments, in analyzing, comparisons, analysis. Consciousness just is. And the only way to experience is just to be. That's why we talk about just being here now, Ram Dass syndrome, or living in the present moment, be present. Those sort of things are trying to define life without thought. And when you pull into that, it isn't a confined, it is an unlimited state of awareness. And there you'll find all life exists. So, in one side, the illusion of aloneness.
Yeah.
On the other side, all life comes from the same source, and everyone is present.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting as you grow spiritually to let go of your thoughts and your desires. Think of Buddha and what he said, the desireless state.
Exactly. This is an interesting point, because this is what I see when I speak to people, and I tell them, let go of the outcome, let go of the desire of the outcome. But for the mind, that is a hard concept to grab, because, well, Hilde, why would I be doing this if it wasn't the outcome that I desired? So you start walking this path because there is a desire.
Yeah.
But if you hang on to that desire, that's a trap. That's going to keep you locked in. Because
Good
you
point.
think already, you think that you know the outcome. So you're going to be focused on the outcome that you want. So you're restricting the flow, and you're trying to put your control in front of you instead of just walking one day at a time, being a better person, eating your fruits, letting go of what's not serving you, being stronger in you, and everything else will unfold. And the outcome will be much better than you could ever even imagine. So we're restricting ourselves just by imagining, because like you said, we can only see what we've seen, or we can only imagine what we have a concept of from the beginning.
Exactly.
And how little do we know?
Exactly.
I'm sure not even a fraction of little.
Exactly. If you use the mind for your base of knowledge.
Yeah.
If you use consciousness, you're into all things. So that's where all knowledge and wisdom and awareness and everything exists.
Yeah.
If you're looking to the mind, and you bring up a good point, it doesn't mean you don't use your mind, but it means that you don't follow it. In other words, if I want to know something, I just say, I need to know this. And I sit and I'm listening. I'm always listening anyway, because you're in the state of observation, so you're listening. And the mind will come back and talk to you. Your own mind will come back and talk to you. And if you're present, you can hear it. If you're too busy using the mind, then you'll lose on it.
Exactly. So what they say,
it's a body unto
first,
itself.
You can't listen if you're not still.
Exactly. It isn't you.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle you're using. So your mind, you might think's mind, but it is not. So some thoughts come through the negative forces, so don't claim them.
Yeah. Your mind is just a tool.
Yep.
Which use are
just a tool to motivate creation.
Yeah. And if you've got to figure out mathematics something, you use it.
Yeah.
If you want to go book a plane ticket, you use it.
You can't do anything without the mind in creation, because there would be no duality without the mind.
Yeah, true.
You know, especially the causal down.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets thin up there in the pure mind and the etheric, the ego area. Subconscious gets thin. It's hard to recognize duality, but those are the fun places to be, because I always give that reference of a pendulum swinging. This is the Godhead, and down here is physical worlds.
Yeah.
You see the biggest swing down in these chemical worlds of
further
positive
down,
and
the bigger
negative.
swing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, the higher you get toward pure consciousness, the less the swing. And when you get into those pure cosmic consciousness levels, it's hard to even recognize karma and duality. You know?
Yeah.
But
so what
do
people do when they're challenged? Because of course, when we're living with real physical challenges, a lot of pain, inability, a lot of despair. You're talking about the parathyroid, the adrenals being out. We're talking anxiety. We're talking depression. How do you then tap in to that calm knowingness and just trusting and tapping into faith and talking into that happiness, having fun? That's the challenge that we're facing, because we're very used to looking outside ourselves for something to be fixed. But of course, I mean, we're still human, and pain sucks. Pain takes away,
Sucks major.
Yeah.
Think about the physical body for a minute, though. What is it?
Yeah.
It's a cellular body with two fluids, right?
Yep.
It has 5 senses at best,
Yeah.
and it's a food processor.
Yeah.
All your body is a chemistry processor. It takes complex chemistry and breaks it down to the simplistic enzymatically. If you look at this, all life is taking simplistic, the simple, complexing it, and then returning it to the simple again.
Yeah.
That's all life is, birth, life, and death, so to speak, at all levels, even in the subatomic particles, all that sort of building stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So you just have to not identify with your bodies and these worlds as you. You're playing in them. This is your playground. It isn't you. And the physical body, though, as limited as it is so slick. The nervous system is so good that you don't realize you're just looking through this body.
Yeah.
You're not in it.
Yeah.
You can't be out of consciousness. You can only pretend that.
Yeah.
It's your attention that's looking through all these bodies, and that's where meditation comes in, or contemplation, or even prayer.
Yeah.
You remove your attention off of this body, and you withdraw it and put it on another, or wherever you want to put it. That's all out-of-body travel is. It's simply realizing that you're not a physical being.
Yeah.
You're only using that physical body to articulate the world.
Or what they say, you lose yourself in something else. You can lose yourself in painting, in music. It's the same thing as meditation. Once you step out of that duality, being in and just flow, what was going this? I was going with this when we talk about that. That every cell that you talk about, everything that's physical, it's still living. Mm-hmm. So it's listening. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking our thoughts, our false beliefs, constantly nagging and talking to our own selves. Okay. So we also have to remember this. Every time you're sitting there cursing your, mother-in-law, whoever it is, or you're telling yourself how stupid you are, or you don't believe in yourself, and you don't have faith in your own body to be able to heal, your body is listening, taking notes, believing you, and acting thereafter. So it's very important that we switch to that knowing and have faith as if it already happened.
Yeah, well, if you looked at creation, most people out there have watched some soap opera sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Days of Our Lives, or
I remember that
Hospital,
one.
or
80s.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's all you are. You're in a Days of Our Lives syndrome here, and it's taken place back when I grew up, and it's just that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's the interactions of the mind and emotions in physical bodies together and playing little games. When you wake up from that, you realize who the player is.
Yeah.
Who is the actor on the stage of life, so to speak,
Yeah.
And to find out is you got to quit playing the game so much and take a look at who the actor is. Well, how do you look at yourself?
Yeah.
And the only way you can look at yourself is stop thinking, stop planning, stop desiring, start focusing outward, and just let yourself hang out a little bit with yourself. And
also take responsibility that you are actually the one writing the play. You're actually the one going on stage every day.
Hard to understand
and
that.
the people around you, they're simply second,
Reacting
third,
to you.
4, 5 lead. Yeah, they're not even significant in that play. And we let them come in and have significance.
Well, they're in their own play.
Yeah.
Everybody, say you take a mother and then she's got a husband and she's got 2 children. Each one is we'll just use the word soul or a state of consciousness on their own.
Yeah.
Individual journeys.
Yeah.
The mama brought in the baby's bodies for that soul to come in and use, but she didn't bring the soul.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely is signed by you-know-what. So you've got this whole thing of breaking loose this fixed attention of this is me, my family, and I, and pull back and see who you really are. And what are you doing here? What's your journey as the mother? Because remember, in consciousness, you're not gendered.
Yeah.
You and I sit here as man and woman, but in reality, consciousness-wise, we're not gendered. I mean, there's no gender to that. There's no gender to God, because it is all things.
Yeah.
So you can't limit that which is all,
And I think this talk is so important because people can use this information in getting on the detoxification journey and start doing better. You can use it for detaching from what friends and family think about what you're doing. You can detach yourself from having the need to control the other way around, your children or your grandchildren, and just realize that you have more than enough with just you. You're the only one that has to live with the effect of your choices, except that others might have to care for you if you really, and that's not fun.
The karma of it right there is pulling other ones into your suffering.
But we're always ourselves first, and
you brought up a good thing about pain and the body, and that's what I was getting at, is you have to pull back from the body when you're in that much pain and realize that the body's in pain and it's pulling your attention to it. So when you learn how to step back, don't claim the body. You're just using it, and get away from that as much as you can. If you have to learn out of body travel, get out of your body when you're in the most pain. But pain is an acid experience, and you have to get on the other side of chemistry. That's just
and what
fact.
you focus on will grow. So if you focus on your pain, it will grow.
It will.
And if you resist, it will persist.
Now,
Those are all good sayings.
Well, now, in detoxification, that pain can come back. Because remember,
but it's not the same pain, but it looks like it.
Exactly.
Feels like it.
Exactly. It's memory pain. The thing is, and the same thing, remember, for those that have ever had limbs removed, they will tell you that they feel it's still there.
Yeah.
But physically it's not. And this is why in the class, level 1, we talk about how creation is put together. People don't realize the value of that information I'm feeding them, because that's their ticket for all things, to understand how everything works within themselves, but also how it works for everything else. You understand how that's put together, you can understand how you can pull yourself away from your bodies and not enjoying the suffering. But you have to fix the suffering. That's your karma. You created that.
You have to take
even
care of the
unconsciously.
cause.
Right?
Even unconsciously.
That's why it's nice to be conscious, because you don't create things that blow backs on you so much.
And then you have detoxification symptoms, and then you have retracing. I'm working with this woman.
Retracing.
And I've been working with her because she's facing arthritis, all right, stuff like that. So, I've been going through that. And she hit a point where she freaked completely out. Pain was back, knees were swelling, ankles were swelling. She was doing so good. And I'm like, hold your horses, what are you doing? I'm still just doing fruit. I feel like I shouldn't even eat. I said, I agree, go down, let's just do water and keep on walking. 3, 4, 5 days, oh, she's back and she's even better. It went away. But it can freak you out when the body comes to another layer and starts pulling those acids.
Very important. Very important you bring that up. Because that's exactly what happens. Matter of fact, I've said this before. Now let's use their terminology, disease, for a minute. Let's say that you have MS. Their diagnosis. So you have chronic neurological problems. You might have some brain lesions involved, cerebellum's involved, the adrenals are down, tissues are down when you have these symptoms. They just call it a disease, but your cells are down in these locations to give you those symptoms, right? So, I lost that.
So what happens when she detoxes and the symptoms come back?
Okay, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly right. You'll feel like you're getting better and better and better. You get start walking, everything gets better and better. And then just what you said, go wham! I've seen it in scleroderma. I've seen it in all kinds of things.
I've seen it in myself.
Simply come rolling back and go, oh my God, I didn't go anywhere and it didn't
I
do
got
anything.
freaked out for years. You don't even stop to freak out from that.
Well,
because you have
tell
cell
you
memory.
guys.
You remember it.
Exactly.
Even
So
people
what I tell you guys, keep going. You can stop, but you're going to revisit. Keep going. Push it, push it, push it. If it's too dramatic, stop it, obviously. Stop it, get yourself
You'll be back
balanced.
to visit. You could do it another time. And what I've noticed is that each time it comes back, it stays for a less period of time, and it goes longer until next time it comes back. So for me, for example, like I couldn't lift my arms for many years because my shoulders were so swollen and so inflamed. Now, even going down this journey for years, it will come down and revisit now and then I'll get to the point where I trust you now because I know in 3 days, until maybe 2-3 years later, it's like, oh, it stopped coming. We're done with it. We're done with the shoulder now.
Isn't that wild?
But it takes time. See,
but how deep is
it takes
this?
time. It takes so deep.
I know.
You know why?
I know.
It could be now. It could be old shit. It could be other lifetimes. It could be other. I've noticed that this is not. We're not just all doing this for what we ate when we were a baby.
Don't tell them too much of the secrets now.
Okay.
Because, this is a ride like these people have never been on.
So this is your opportunity. This is a gift.
Oh, man.
For you to step in and take that sword and say, heck yeah. I'm doing it. That's why I'm here. I'm doing this. I'm
the
fearless.
Ultimate ride.
I'm not going to do this.
This is the ultimate ride, guys. You can't get in.
What do we have to lose? We come here, we live,
you don't have anything
and then
lose.
we move on. We have nothing
Especially
to lose.
if you're going to be
Everything
leaving your
gain.
body.
Yeah.
It's time to get awake before you leave your body. You don't want to leave your body highly unconscious because you'll just trip around again. I mean, that's just how it goes. So you want to be as conscious
as you can.
Yeah,
it's a choice. And that's the thing. We can choose. So if you think it's too hard and you don't want to do it, it's fine. If you think it's hard but you still want to do it, go for it. If you think it's too hard because you're alone and you need support, get it. You know, you can choose. And now you can even say, well, I don't have money. I don't care. Read.
We fix you.
Water fast.
You don't have money, we're helping
fast.
tons of people without money.
Yeah, that too. Or buy boxes of bananas cheap. I mean, there's nothing that can stop you if you really want this.
Exactly.
Nothing.
My message is grab your own power.
Yeah.
Whether you're female or male, grab your own power back. Quit giving it to others, particularly the females.
Yeah.
They're lovers and they give their power away all the time.
Yeah.
And get your powers back, because who loses?
Yeah.
You know, you do.
Yeah.
You
And that's interesting, as we're talking about, we're not gender.
Yeah.
So if you came into this lifetime as a female, it is showing you that there is something about that power that you're here to clear. And a lot of women at this time are lifting and raising their vibration, coming together, taking back that power.
Well, the negative force
is
is
that
male and female force again. And the male force, which represents the more negative side, the acid side of chemistry, corrosive side, has pretty much, even in religious thought, like, no offense to Christians, forgive me because I've raised that way, but when you say a female is just the rib of a man, excuse me?
Yeah.
You know, we are souls. Each and every one is souls. It doesn't. You didn't come from another man. I mean, you're created as an individual.
I don't even think the information is meant to be taken literally.
Yeah, I hope not.
Nah.
Because, I mean, some people do.
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know, and it has held the female principle down.
Yeah.
And that is wrong.
That comes from control.
But you see the wars because of
But
it.
look at the priests. It came from there. They were raping the women before they got married even. So, I mean, we know this is humans. This has nothing to do with spirit or Christianity, you know, in that sense. These are humans that did this. Humans did this, you know.
It is in the human consciousness.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you write it down and accentuate it, But that's changing.
Fear-based.
People are wakening up, pulling out of that.
Yeah.
The need to be whole, to feel the self again.
But the men too are balancing out. The young men that I meet, so much more femininity, so much more balance in that.
And that's
so they're getting we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
We're getting closer
to being genderless in that sense.
Exactly. And that's why I think you see all this with California, you see all this stuff going on with the genders and that sort of thing. Get to realize this is in consciousness. You know, and the more man is expanding his consciousness and getting into the higher realms, then you lose that female-male syndrome.
And this freedom. Everything that we can lose that is, you know, that we believe put us in a box or limitations, and, you know, it's an illusion. You're free. You know, your spirit's free. It doesn't matter. Look at Nelson Mandela. He was in jail for I don't know how many years. He always felt free.
You might as well put him in for life. He was in, for 40, 50 years? I mean,
but he felt free. He felt free. His spirit was free. He came out, no hard feelings. He had no...
See, he might have been an out-of-body traveler.
Yeah.
I would have loved to talk to him about out-of-body things, because a lot of those people like him took it within and went out of body, you know. And you see that in Christianity a lot of St. Pedro or whatever. He was always seen, he was in prison, but he was always seen outside of prison. So, you know, you see those references to bilocation syndromes.
There's even a lot of people have written about that.
I mean, it's all through all the religious, right? If you know how to look at it and find it. You know? But especially through the agnostics and the Essenes and things like that. You know.
I love the Essenes. But I think that's where we're going with all of this. I think the lymphatic system and the kidneys and the teaching of the body, the chemistry, the fruits, the way to live, it's ultimately just leading us to what Robert talks about right now. It's leading us to that freedom of being spirit and joy.
Well, this planet has, you have to take, when you're creating creations, you have to, like in this planet, it's been down long enough. We have to bring it up. And we're providing more spaces in states of consciousness for man to experience, because now we're bringing out the lymph system. So that's going to make man expand in his awareness of how the body works and everything. So we're opening gaps here. So humans, hopefully some of these lower levels will be taken to some, because there are always new levels being created, you know. And so hopefully this level will mature up Right now it's kind of being, well, yeah.
Yeah. It's ultimately about the joy that you said from your heart. It's ultimately about happiness.
Yeah.
If you can ask anyone, what do you want? Well, they can list a lot of things, but bottom line, I just want to be happy. Want to be happy, want to be happy, want to be happy.
Absolutely.
Well, guess what? Eating a natural, high fruit, living, electrical diet is going to get you going towards being happy. Because anything that's not happy is just an obstruction.
Well, that's it. I mean, when you think about it, you've been putting chemistry in all your life. Yeah. And you got chemistry coming in when you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
When you were hooked to your mother,
yeah.
you had her chemistry coming through you.
Yeah.
Just think, most mothers are not filtering today.
I know, and they're breastfeeding.
So then and they're breastfeeding,
Yeah.
and the baby, and they're eating acid ash diet. So
Yeah.
one, the baby's lymph system isn't filtering because the mother's in.
Yeah.
So that's why you see the tumors in the babies, of course. And then of course, everything that you say about that, and everything you mention about that.
And then you talk up to people that are 26, 28 years old, and they have brown eyes that are blue.
Oh.
And they're born with brown eyes that are blue.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Coming in
a chronic
like
stage
that.
of acidosis.
Yeah.
And this is why we have
That's when we're talking, it takes time, because those genes are weaker from the get-go. I look at eyes, and I have 75-year-olds with much better genes than the 25-year-olds.
I know.
And they're easier to work with to get out of it than the 25-year-olds.
See it all the time.
That's the sad part.
That's the sad part. You can take a 90-year-old and get them super healthy and move them way up into the hundreds, but you've got a teenager or a 20-year-old, major skin, major nerves, major digestion. I know. I've been what, 45, 48 years now in this field. So I've been harping on this since I've been in this field. The young are in trouble. The youth are in trouble because we did not understand. We went to the assumption of medical and the effects of things instead of the causes of things. We're too busy watching the symptoms going, well, what's that? We don't know what that is, because you got to pull back and start with what you're ingesting chemistry. You're constantly ingesting chemistry. Is it the proper chemistry?
But they're the lucky ones because they have this information out there. I didn't have that information out there. You know, we didn't know.
Didn't know.
No. Now you know. Now the choice is yours.
Going to high school, you don't want your milk? I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I didn't even like the taste, but I did that. And it's like,
we were told it was going to give you calcium. You know, that we were going to get bone loss if we didn't drink milk from a cow.
Isn't it funny? And now they're showing that milk drinkers have bone loss because of
osteoporosis, they call it, from drinking milk.
Amazing. Studies are totally in our favor. And now...
You got to open your eyes to the logic. When you see a small country like Norway having the most use of sunscreen, for example, they use the most sunscreen, and then they have the highest rate of skin cancer from the sun. Norway has the highest consumption of dairy. They are also on the top of osteoporosis. There's logic behind this. You just got to step back from what you've been told.
Exactly. Understanding the lifestyle. If you pull back and realize we're frugivores, we're islanders originally, and that this paleo consciousness is only those that migrated to those levels, but we originally were put into the areas that we're primatives, we're islanders, we're frugivores.
And what a blessing is
God didn't stick us in caves. That's not, we went to caves.
I know. And from Norway, we're Vikings. We're from way up there. But the thing is this.
Hardy Vikings!
I know. The blessing, though,
you guys are hardy
is that you could take a lineage. And that's what I'm thinking. What is a lineage really? Because we're talking, and people say, well, we changed and then we evolved from this. Well, the blessing is you could take a northern person, a caveman ancestry lineage person, still put him back on foot, and the body will heal.
Oh, yeah.
That's the blessing. That's the blessing. You don't have to follow that.
Exactly.
You did not adopt. You just got used to being sick.
Well, see, this is the point.
Yeah.
And you just brought out a good point. Is some people claim that man adapted.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What does that mean?
Take a look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the children
Look at
we
the
just talked
hospitals.
about. Exactly. Look at the hospital.
We
Man
adopted.
adapted.
So now we
Not
don't have
on
any
your
hospitals
life.
anymore. We're so freaking healthy. We're just sitting around
Exactly.
smoking in our
Exactly.
20s.
Exactly.
And then just going to a mountaintop, sitting there, and we're just
And there's
dying.
not a hospital in every corner in
No,
Florida.
no.
in Florida,
Old people's homes. No.
we got a hospital in this corner and a drugstore in this corner. About
Yeah.
everywhere you go down here.
Yeah, I know.
That's the point.
And you go into the hospital, it's
Exactly.
selling hot dogs and
Oh.
serving you jelly and milk and bread and eggs and.
So
So this is to me. It's not about fixing what's already there. It's stepping out to something new. It's stepping out of what's already
new's
there.
exciting.
Yeah.
And you want to make new exciting.
Yeah.
You want to make this like opening dark black curtains,
Yeah.
and the sun is so
Yeah.
bright of truth,
Yeah.
and your world is about to change drastically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so
All
I'll
right.
see him in class, and
We'll see a lot
soon.
of you in class too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I love our
Come on
class.
in.
They're so much fun.
Yeah, they are.
yeah.
They're amazing.
So much
The
fun.
souls are amazing. People come back year after year to
We
meet
want to
their
get these
tribe.
seminars going though,
Yeah.
because the creative arts that I'm getting, the artwork from you guys.
Yeah,
Oh my
They showed
God,
me some
these
of it. It's
blessings.
just
Oh,
amazing. Yeah.
when you tap to your higher, I don't want to say higher self because you are your higher self.
Yeah.
When you become your higher self, awake again.
Yeah. Create.
The
Create.
art and the creativity. There are so many creative people.
Yeah, I know.
We need to accentuate
And the more you
the
open up
beauty.
yourself, the more you want to create. You want to express yourself authentically. That's another thing. Just in closing, authenticity. We're so used to being numbed down. We're holding ourselves
know,
back. Is
I
the boss?
know.
What are they saying? What are they? Be authentic and express yourself.
Enjoy your individuality.
Your expression is beautiful.
Always
Be
should be
authentic.
happy because you're different than
Yeah,
everyone else.
yeah.
You should never be sad that you're different. Imagine everybody looking the same, dressing the same, and stuff like that.
No.
Catholicism, everybody dresses the same, and yes sir, no ma'am, generally. It's like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Be the best
Free
version
bird.
of you that you know.
Free
yeah.
bird.
Yeah. No judgment.
Nope.
No
Don't
playing
judge
the
others,
game, no
be
blame
humble.
game, no
Because
playing
why
small.
would you? Why would
And why
you?
would we play small? People are playing small.
Well, because they don't realize how big they are.
Yeah.
See, you don't realize how big you guys are.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
But it's not about
to-
the ego. It's not about being better than anyone. It's just about radiating your freaking amazingness
your
because you
greatest-
are.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You want to tap into your greatest potentials that you have.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Yeah. And
You're
just
not a little human.
Put on that
playing-
robe and wear
Yeah.
it. Just walk down the aisle
Exactly.
and wear that robe.
Talking about that, a friend of mine said, well, you know what? I'm just going to have a closet of robes.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear.
Yeah. Just
He said,
Take it
when
off.
you said that earlier, you
Yeah.
do use the mind somewhat. And I told him, I said,
Yeah.
you know what? Just thinking you have to put on something
Yeah.
is a thought.
I know.
Or walking to the closet. So you
Yeah.
can't escape that
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
But you can live in the present moment
you
and be
can.
awake.
And here he's talking again about the difference between people. For some people, just getting dressed or picking out clothes or going shopping is a drag. For other
Yeah.
people, it's how they express themselves.
Exactly.
They love it.
I know.
So do it. If you don't.
Exactly.
If you don't like it, get 15 white
Exactly.
shirts and have one each day and
Well,
roll
go
with
back
it.
to that movie, Michael. Where
Yeah.
where you want to know who you are from the top of the God worlds
Yeah.
and enjoy this
Yeah.
world. You want to
Yeah.
fight a bull, fight a bull. You
Yeah.
want to make love to a bird, you make love. Whatever
Yeah.
you want to do, you do it
Exactly.
with total love and respect.
And if you
joy
love
in
it,
your
do
heart.
it again, do it again, do it again. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.